I feel like there is this narrative about you in some of the other articles I was reading, leading up to this and things, where you're this hugely accomplished, successful comedian, but you're not quite the household name of some of the, other people like you mentioned, like Jerry Seinfeld or people like that. Do you feel that that's starting to change? Do you feel like that narrative is going away, or that you're kind of reaching that level of some of those, people who maybe came a little bit before you?
I think the reason why that is I haven't really been in the mainstream of any particular successful TV show or movie. I didn't pop off of that. I
really just stand up.
Yeah, it's just like my fans know who I am, and that's great. But I am noticing, I'd say over the pandemic, I have to tell you, coming out of that, I've noticed more recognition of maybe people knowing who I am, just about round and about. Mm-hmm. I never used to have any really recognition at a mall or an airport. And I to be honest with you, I travel alone. It's not like I got the security with me.
Yeah.
But it is changing, and I think it's changing because of some of the film and TV I've been associated with.
Right. Yeah.
Along with the stand-up.
Yeah. I mean, the Netflix specials are obviously huge. You also, as you said, have been doing some more acting. You managed to get roles in two Best Picture, one Best Picture winner and one Best Picture nominee in Green Book and The Irishman. So that was pretty good.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a change of pace for me, and I enjoyed doing those little small parts. Movies as a whole have been a little difficult for me just because of the nature of how movies are shot, and you always hear you're sitting there running, waiting, and whatnot. So yeah, that's been a little hard to get used to, but I enjoy doing those parts.
Yeah, they both also, you're playing characters who are part of that bygone era. So there's a theme there too, where I think you get to kind of enter that world that you were talking about, that the Rat Pack and all that with those movies.
Yeah, it kind of threw me back into that time period. I never really thought about it the way you just explained it, but yeah, I played kind of period pieces in those movies, but. Yeah, working with those guys. I mean, it was. I had a lot of anxiety working with, Peter Farrelly and Vigo and De Niro, Pesci. I mean, again, these are guys I had posters on my wall.
Yeah.
And now, next thing you know, I'm doing a scene with Joe Pesci at the Copacabana. Crazy.
What stands out from that experience of filming that scene in particular?
Well, a couple things. They took the Copacabana, or they took the Gotham Comedy Club in New York City and transformed it into the Copacabana, which is where the first scene I was going to do with De Niro and Pesci was, which I found very ironic because the Gotham Comedy Club was the first comedy club I performed in New York City.
So you at least felt you had some recognition of that location.
Yeah. And then secondly, I was, I couldn't sleep for 2 hours prior. Due to the fact that I'm going to be in a scene with two legendary actors, and Martin Scorsese's directing this thing. So they were very, very accommodating with me, very friendly, very nice guys. And it was like anything else. As soon as I did like a role rehearsal with them, because there's a part of me that was going, should I be here? Am I good enough? I'm a comedian. I'm not really an actor. I haven't done this a lot. And now I'm doing it with the best. So there's a little self-doubt going into that. But, as soon as you did the first rehearsal, I started to feel like, yeah, I belong here. I deserve this. And it was good. I learned a lot. It was a lesson in movie making. Even though I was there for like 6 or 7 days, it was definitely gave me the confidence moving forward to do other projects with the confidence that I need.
Yeah, well, you must have done something right, because now Robert De Niro is going to play your father in your movie. Is that right?
Yeah, so I co-wrote a movie with my writing partner, Austin Earl, loosely based on my life. And we wrote it thinking, It's never gonna get made. We wrote it. And next thing you know, Robert De Niro had a copy, loved it, wanted to read it with a group of people. I guess that's how he kind of makes a decision on whether or not he wants to do a movie. He has like a reading. Mm-hmm. So we hired actors. We all got in a room together. And again, I'm sitting there. This is like surreal. Like, this is my Robert De Niro's playing my dad in the movie. And sure enough, he enjoyed it, loved it, signed on for it. And the thing that pops out in my head about that experience was Robert De Niro wanted to get to know my father. Mm. So my father flew out to Oklahoma, where he was shooting a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio at the time, and spent 3 days with De Niro.
Wow.
And De Niro wanted to know like how he wore his hat, how he held a cigar, because he's a hairstylist, how do you cut hair? And then he wanted my dad to come to the set and kind of coach him through a scene where De Niro's doing a dye job. And again, I'm sitting there and my father's with De Niro. And of course, my father came up to me and goes, "How much am I getting paid for this?" And I go, "Paid?" He goes, "Yeah." I'm missing, because he still works. Yeah. He had to take off work to be there. I'm like, "Dad, you're working with Robert De Niro. You're worried about getting paid?" He goes, "I'm fucking losing money here." So just to kind of see them two interact with one another, and then subsequently showing my father the movie at my house a couple months ago, and he was crying at the end of the movie. Just, I think a lot hit him at that point. Basically, the movie's a love letter to my father. Yeah. And to see De Niro playing him in a movie, I don't even know what that does to someone, just to see that. But he was emotional about it. He said he liked it. He's very critical about what I do. He has no problem. No problems telling me I sucked, or you should do this, you should do that. He's very opinionated about, especially my stand-up. Mm-hmm. I'm doing Fallon on Monday. I will know whether my father likes the appearance on whether he calls me or not. If he doesn't say anything, or when I call him, he doesn't say anything about it, I know he didn't like it.
So he knows not to say anything if he didn't like it.
Yeah. So if he mentions that he loves it, I know he loves it. If he doesn't say anything, I know he hated it.
So is the movie's finished now, or what are the plans to put it out?
It's finished, done, coming out next year. Don't exactly have a date on it yet, but it's coming out next year. And I got a couple movies coming out, a few movies coming out actually next year, which it's going to be interesting to see. I got a little part in this Mario Brothers movie. That the trailer just dropped a couple of days ago. So it's fun to do these movies, these animated movies, especially now that I have kids 5 and 3, to go to the movies with them and have, daddy voicing a part is pretty cool being a father. So.
Yeah. I mean, as we said, you're pretty famous already and you get recognized and all that. How do you feel about the prospect of being even more recognizable, or it being even more difficult for you to go into Starbucks and that kind of thing?
I don't know. I'm fine with it. I don't until it becomes an issue. Right now. I don't really mind it if people want to take a photo or say they enjoy what I do. It doesn't really bother me. It bothers me when I'm with my family and trying to I got my kid. I'm trying to dress my kid whatever. Put a jacket on and I got someone wanting to take a photo. Mm-hmm. It could be a little, but it's part of the game. Believe me, if you would have talked to me 15 years ago and said, "Oh, would you ever, be bothered if somebody came up to you and that's Starbucks?" I mean, fuck no. So I don't mind it.
You got to be grateful for what you got.
Yeah.
So now I want to do our segment called The First Laugh. I'm going to run through some firsts in your career, in your life in comedy, and we can talk about them. So going all the way back to childhood, what was the first piece of comedy that made you laugh really hard, or one of the first that you could remember?
I don't know if this was the first, but what stands out early on was John Ritter in Three's Company. I really enjoyed watching him. That's where I got a lot of my physical humor from was Ritter, and how he used to fall and pop up and have a face, and you could just laugh at the reaction of the guy's face or what have you. So I was a huge Three's Company fan. I would watch it like game tape. Every time it came out, it was on Nick at Night. It came on. I watched, the same episode would come on and I would watch it over and over again. And I could care less, but yeah, John Ritter was one of the first influences.
That's great. Do you remember the first time that you knew you were funny, that you could make other people laugh?
Yeah, it was around the kitchen table. I always kind of stated that the kitchen table was my first stage, making my family laugh based on my observations at school and what have you. I was never really a class clown. I just kind of observed some of the situations at school, came home and reported it back to my family, and they would laugh. So I guess making my family laugh was kind of the first inkling I had that I had a sense of humor and a knack for storytelling.
When you think about your very first time performing stand-up, what springs to mind? Where were you? How did it go? How do you think about it now?
First time doing stand-up was at Northern Illinois University. I attended school there, and I won a comedy contest to open up for the headliner that was coming to the school. And I had my parents come out, and my sister was there, and it was the worst set I ever had. It was in front of a primarily Black audience, and they were yelling. I didn't know what they were yelling at the time, but I found out later on they were yelling Sandman, Sandman. And Sandman was who they called for when an act sucked at the Apollo Theater.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, Sandman, what the hell are they talking about? And it was really, really bad. However, I did know that this was kind of where I was supposed to be. Although it was an awful experience, I just knew this is my calling. This is what I enjoy doing. And I knew that, I wasn't going to be a hit out of the box. It's just going to take a lot of work. Like everything in life takes a lot of work. You don't become a bodybuilder overnight. You got to lift the weights.